Hi, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you are all keeping okay. So today we're up in the Northumberland National Park. Very lucky to have a day off work. So out today, me and Kylo just having an explore, looking for some wild camp spots. Now I was going to camp last night, but we've just had a storm go over the country and it was really windy. I think they said they were going to be up to about 60-70 mile an hour winds up in the hills, so thought better of it. So we waited till this morning, got them nice and early, so just up, cannot wait, get out, stretch the legs and hopefully find a good few spots for the coming back and camping another day. Right, let's get to it. So roll that intro. As I said, it's a beautiful autumnal day, and blue skies, a bit of cloud and a bit of a breeze, ideal walking conditions. So the water today, just going to go on a bit of an explore. We're going to go down to the tip of a place called Harwood Forest and then just round the moors back up round Simonside. I think it's about 8 mile. So I got all day, really looking forward to it. And see if we can find some spots on the way where we would class as good wild camping spots. So look at this though, beautiful there, fantastic. So last time I was up here I came to camp with a bivvy and tarp and it was a failure because I came up and it started to rain. And within about an hour the rain got really heavy and the place was just flooded. And this here, if you watch my video, this was just pretty much a river going all the way down to the car park. And that just shows you how much rain we must have got in a short length of time. Look at that rock though. That's different, isn't it? That's a fossil or something. I don't know. So yeah, luckily the sun's out today though. Hi Kylo, Kylo, hey, hello son. He's in a world of his own, loves it up here. So yeah, we had a field wild camp here. We're going to head sort of that way where I went, but we're going to go further and then come back. So we're going to do like a big sort of triangular walk. So we're heading southwest and then we're going to get the edge of the forest and head directly north, come up the Simonside and then come back round to the east to sort of where we are now. That's the plan anyway. That's plan here. Gonna go different walks up. So we're just following St Oswald's Way at the minute. And I believe that's the way we're going to come back from that hill. Let's get to this path, like, look at it, a bit rocky. As you can see, it's just heather. You won't be able to pitch here anywhere. That's East Coast over there. You can't see the sea today. Can you see that? Cheviot. There's the Cheviot. And hedgerow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Rothbury, you see them houses? That's Rothbury. So you got a nice town just there. And if you go down there where the car is, as the path takes you up and over down to Rothbury, or you can go that way through Simonside Woods and down the hill and follow the river back. I've done this big circle, I walked quite a few times. It's about 11 mile, parting at Rothbury and coming all the way around. Yeah, nice walk. Right, so when I'm putting my videos up on YouTube and Instagram, a few guys messages and say, Phil, how do you know where to wild camp? How do you know these places? How do you know these spots? Well, there's no actual direct answer. It's made up of a few different answers, so I'll go through them. So basically, first of all, normally I know the spots because I've been there before. I've walked there, I've hiked there, you know, through my childhood, or I did a lot of hiking before I got into wild camping. You know, there's a lot of hiking videos on this channel, and there's places where I've been and I've seen it in real life, what it's like. Another way might be where, you know, I've watched YouTubers go to certain spots and I recognise certain parts of the video and I've got a rough idea of where they've been, so I'll have a look on the map and try and pinpoint where they actually camped. Now the next one's a bit of a sort of, can be a bit of a funny one, because sometimes I message wild campers and I say, where was that? I would love to go there. Now the problem with that is a lot of wild campers are quite secretive about places to go, and it's not just because they're being selfish or they're being nasty. It could be because they don't want the wrong people going there. And what I mean by that is, sometimes you can find a great spot in the lakes, in Northumberland, anywhere in the country, and if it is one of them special spots, shall we say, and you put it on social media and people start talking about it or start watching your videos, you know, it's known where you get people who don't respect the countryside, might start going there, might start damaging the place, leaving rubbish, leaving litter, you know, having fires, and of course the local landowner then gets pissed off and chases everyone off. So if you see a wild camper camping and you like it, my advice would be, probably like me, send them a personal message, you know, explain that you will respect the place and that you do wild camping and you leave no trace rule, and the chances are they'll probably give you the location and then go for yourself. Sometimes I just use OS maps, so I'll have a look and see what sort of place I fancy going. Now there's a few different things that can make up what I'm looking for in a wild camp, so I'll go through them next. So one of the first things I look for is the sort of rough location, and what I like to do personally, because generally a lot of places I go to are in the car, so I like to find a nice spot where I know the car's going to be safe, or safe as it can be, you know. So again, probably like, you know, a town or a village, somewhere where you can park with respect. Obviously the car's going to be okay overnight. Then once I've sort of got that rough location, I almost do like a radius of the area from that centre point and think to myself, how much time have I got? How much time have I got to walk to the camp, and what sort of time do I need to be back at home the next morning. So for instance, if I've got the whole day either side of the camp, I might choose to walk say 6 to 8 miles from the car. Yeah, every now and again you hear one of them grouse bird things. So what's that? However, if it's going to be a bit of a later pitch or a very early start and I need to be home, you know, I might only go a mile or 2 miles from the local place where I park the car. So again, that determines sort of, it's all about narrowing it down. So again, that determines where I'm going to park and where I'm going to camp. I suppose after that, I then take into consideration what sort of camp I want. And what I mean by that is, you know, is it a woodland camp? Is it a tartan bivvy camp? Is it on top of a hill, a summit camp I would call it, where you're going to get the views? You know, the type of year. Is it winter? Is it summer? What do you want out of the camp? Oh, beautiful this, isn't it? If you're like me and you like to do a lot of summit camps, so you're sitting in your tent, shall we say, and you're watching the sun go down, maybe see some stars, and then you're going to catch a nice sunrise. Again, you want to be up in the hills. Northumberland's got loads of hills, but you know, do you want a westerly view, an easterly view, or just generally a 360 degree view up on the tops so you can see a sunset and a good sunrise? So as you start putting all these factors into the mix, it starts sort of narrowing it down really, you know. So, you know, have you found somewhere safe to park the car? What sort of camp do you want? So let's just say I'm going to park the car in a local town and I want to camp on a hill. So again, have I ever walked around somewhere like that? Check the OS maps and have a look about. Now personally, I like to get out. So for instance, I'm up here today. I know of a few places to camp, but I'm not that familiar with the area. So I know I can park my car safely. I know it's not far from home, so I'll be home within an hour. So now it's all just about how far I want to walk from the car and finding a good pitch. As you can see, I'm spoiled for choice really, aren't I? Look at this. Fantastic. So once I sort of have a rough idea where I want to go, as I say, I'll come up and visit the place if I can. If it's local, I appreciate maybe if it was a Lake District or Scotland, I mightn't be able to nip there for the day. So a few things when I'm narrowing it down is, firstly, I don't want to be in sight of, like, say, a farmhouse or buildings, because, you know, if you're sitting with your light on cooking your tea and it's getting dark and a farmer happens to clock you, he doesn't know what you're doing. He doesn't know you're just a simple wild camper out for the night having a couple of beers and a wayfarer meal. You could be anyone. Could be a poacher, a thief, anyone. So because of that, chances are if he sees you or he sees your light, he's probably going to come and find out who you are and what you're doing. Now, if you can imagine, if it's a Friday night and he's finished work and he's sitting in his farmhouse with his feet up, and he wants to come and find out what you're doing, so he's got to get all his gear on and quad bike or walk up to where you are to find out you're a wild camper doing no harm. However, he's probably going to be a bit miffed that he's had to come all this way. So chances are you're going to get a bit of a frosty reception and asked to leave. Now this has never happened to me before because I keep out of the way. You know, I camp where I'm not going to get seen. I camp where I'm not going to get disturbed. I have come across a few farmers walking to and from camp, or in the morning when I'm packing up, and they're generally just waving off the go because they're out anyway, they're out working, so they haven't made a special journey to come and chase you, if that makes sense. Another factor is, which is a bit of a bonus, which I don't plan my camps around, but it's always nice if you've got it, is a water source. So generally with me, I carry enough water in for me and Kylo for the walk up the camp, maybe the walk back. So normally 2 litres does us. We've always got a bit spare. However, if you do find a camp and there is a water source nearby, you know, look at you, it's great, it's less weight to carry. However, I would suggest always using a water filter, or some, like, you know, the cleansing tablets, or maybe, you know, doing a rolling boil with it. Because the thing is, when you're drinking out of streams, rivers and lakes, it could be contaminated by all sorts, you know, farmers, agricultural waste, dead animal maybe. So the last thing you want to do is be lying in your tent with stomach cramps and diarrhea because you've had a cup of water out of a river. You know, factor in the weather as well, especially the wind. You know, if you're out, say for instance it's a westerly wind, is where you're pitching going to be sheltered? Are you going to have the wind all night? You know, what shelter are you taking? Is it going to be able to withstand the winds that are forecast? You know, it might be whether it's an easterly wind, say, and your camping spot is behind the wall, so you're going to get all that shelter as well. So just consider that as well, because at the end of the day, you want to go and have as an enjoyable time as you possibly can, you know, because if you're in a tent, no matter how good the tent is and it's a windy night, you are probably going to be kept awake or wake up quite a few times during the night with the noise of the wind. So again, you know, that might disturb your sleep. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look about, and I'm going to show you some different places where I think might make a good pitch. Hey, it's really windy today. I hope this wind muff's working, so apologies if it's not, because you won't be able to hear anything. Right, so I'll carry on and see what spots we can find. So there you go, I haven't walked too far in, and already this isn't a little bad spot. Pitch up, it's a bit of grass, not so much heather, and you've got a good view over to the east and a canny view over to the west. I've seen your sunrise and your sunset. That's your view to the south. Yeah, not a bad spot. Bit breezy like, but I'll keep the midges away. So yeah, relatively flattish. Obviously I like it if you've got a bit of stone, put your cooker set on, put your stove, or you could, you know, have it down there out the way of the wind, a bit of shelter. So yeah, I think you could find a pitch there. That's probably the flattest bit there. But yeah, right, that's possibly pitch number 1. Farmer's up here, look, putting a new fence line in. He's back over there, over that hill. He gave us a wave. That's the first person I've seen up here all day. Look at that, sun breaking through the clouds, look. Beautiful Northumberland. And behind these trees, on the horizon, there's hardwood forest. So we're going to walk there and then turn and head directly north. Look at that the way. Beautiful. It's not forecast rain today, but I've got my waterproofs on, mainly just as like a wind stopper really, because it is quite breezy and the grass is a bit wet, so keep your legs dry. What a way to spend a day off, eh? Loving it. There you go. So Now it's Spylo. Interesting to have a rock with a name on it. I've never been down this way before, so see what's down here. Right, we obviously haven't got any shelter here at the minute, but here's another spot where we could possibly wild camp. There's some good views, depending on like I said before, the wind direction. So if it was coming from the northeast, you'd have all the shelter, I suppose, from them trees. But westerly, as you can tell now, it's quite blustery. Or you could come just on a day when it was less windy. So yeah, so there's two spots, and quite remote. This one, however, is right on the footpath, which can be a bit of a problem, because obviously if it's a footpath, generally there's going to be people using it. But we are, you know, in the remote parts of Northumberland, so you might only get one or two people here during the day. So if you pitch late, chances are you're not going to see anyone. Just something to be mindful of. So yeah, another little pitch. There seems to be like a little dean here at the bottom of these trees, so I'm guessing there's probably a water source as well. So that might be a bonus for camping here. Right, we'll keep going. Right, so here's what I was talking about before, about wind. So for instance, we've just dropped down into this little sort of dean where we've got a bit of a tree line, and you can see here it's really sheltered. Again, this will make a nice little spot. You got the wind blowing on the trees there, but you can feel the difference just by dropping down here. Oh look, there's a rainbow. Just by dropping down here, it's a lot more sheltered, so you're going to get a much better sleep. Now the footpath sign's over there. Let's have a little wander down here and see what's down here. Just looks like a sort of quad bike track. Doesn't look as though it's been well used. There's no new prints, if you like. There's running water down there, you can hear that. This looks like a little bridge. Let's see if you look at this. Been in for a few days, there's no fresh tracks here. That's not to say the farmer's not going to come up here tomorrow. Hey look. Oh, this will make a good spot, wouldn't it? Look at this. So again, like I was saying before, you've got the bonus here of having fresh running water right next to your camp. Yeah, this is a good spot. Probably get a tent there. Maybe a hammock on the trees there. I'll just go a bit further up where we just were and camp there. Lovely. Yeah, like it here, Kylo. So there we are. That's Spylo, where them woods are. So we've just walked across the moors, up this little gate. Just having 5 minutes. Can you make out that rainbow arching over Simon's side? Good Christmas tree there, look. So yeah, so we're just gonna keep heading towards Harwood, and then after so long, as a footpath goes to the right, takes you around the back of that hill and up to that bit there of Simon's side, and I think you go up the steps. It's a killer, that. It's for me anyway. Up the steps and then on the ridge and walk across the ridge, and then where the ridge goes down, sort of there, that's pretty much where the car is. So we've done 7,000 steps, so they're about 6,995. So what's that, about 3.5 miles, something like that. So we're nearly halfway. Right, we're just coming up the forest now, look. There's a car just over there, look. Must be a ranger or something. Really, so big fence. Stop the deer's getting in. sure it's locked, which it is. Oh, all these baby Christmas trees, look. Ready for some lunch now, Kylo. I don't know about you. It's getting on for 12. Hey, when that wind stops and that sun's on you, you can't half feel the heat. Different to see the car now, up there. Or the Jeep. Look at that though, eh? He's probably sitting having his dinner looking at them views. Some job that, innit? Being out in the middle of nowhere, sitting having your dinner looking at that. Whoa. Right, just skimmed the outskirts of the forest there. There's two lads working where that white van, where the white pickup was, putting a quad bike on the back. Two rangers. Had a crack with them. Two lovely guys. So now we've got our furthest point away on the walk today, and we're just going to basically head directly north, straight to the bottom of that hill, which is Simonside, and up on the top, and then along the top back to the Hillford car park. You've just walked past the fresh river, much like the taste of Peter. It was a lovely day, but getting a bit warm. Yep. And how many steps have you done now? 8,376. Oh, won't do me any harm. Right. I just love being out here. Everyone's got their passion in life and the things they like doing, and you know what, this is mine. Just being out in the wilds. It's great. Great way to clear your head. You know, you've got a lot of time to think and just sort things out, if you like, you know. Things you've got planned, things you're thinking about, if that makes sense. Gives you time to think and sort everything out. Reset. And a little bit going on at work at the minute. A little bit of excitement coming my way, hopefully. So this week could be an important week. I won't say too much, because this channel's not about me work, it's about us getting out and enjoying ourselves. But yeah. Oh, and obviously feeling good when you get a bit of exercise and a bit of fresh air in your lungs. But yes, exciting times ahead, hopefully. I'm glad these scarpers are waterproof. Tell you, it's a bit muddy underfoot today. You should have your boots on, shouldn't you, Kylo? Oh, you don't care, do you? It's what they call welly weather. The ranger did say mine, he said mine is quite wet down there. He wasn't joking. If I remember rightly, I'm just looking at these trees. I'm sure there's one on Simon's side. What they decorate. I think, if I remember rightly, it's on one of the walks I've done, and you see it. So I might come across Saturday. If I do, I'll do a little video. Right, let's press on. So on this part of the walk, I'm thinking, you know, you've got some nice views there down to the sort of east-southeast, but really I wouldn't camp here. So you've got the duck boards tells me this ground's really wet, or can get really wet, and as you can see it's very bumpy, so you're not really going to get much of a pitch for a tent, and it's going to be super soft and squidgy. So we'll head up there and take up there, have a look up there, and then probably on the tops we'll find a few spaces as well where we could come back and put a tent or a bivvy. So I think that's called Thompson's Rock. I'll check when I get home. But as you can see there on the bottom of the crag, that's a good little spot for a bivvy maybe. I don't think there's enough space for a tent. But yeah. Look at the views though. And there's the forest where we skirted past, and we'll come all the way around there. So about 11,000 steps in, so I think that equates to about 5.5 miles. So loving it, but getting tired now. Need some food, so we'll see if we can find a spot to get something to eat. Quite well camouflaged, aren't you? Right, so I found the cave I was hoping to find today, and I'm just thinking, hey, come here, get a bivvy bag there. Look at this though, I put my stuff. How's this for a cave? Probably a few years up here from where I am. Look at that. Yeah, it's a bit wet, but yeah, I suppose if you had a ground sheet and a waterproof bivvy bag, you get at that corner there. So we had a sample of water there. At least I think it's water. Well, I'm glad to see there's not rubbish or fire scars anywhere. So I'm just going to sit and have a lunch. I've got my egg boil. I've got some stew and a protein bar. Have a cup of tea, and then we'll start heading back to the car, I think. So there's a good few places we've found, and if we find anywhere else, I'll show you what I think. This would be a canny little spot though. Good views, look. Not necessarily in the cave, but just outside in a bivvy bag. I suppose you could always use the cave to cook in if it was raining. So what do you think so far then? Good spots, bad spots? What do you look for in a spot when you're choosing your wild camping spots? What makes a good spot for you? Right, I'm going to get me dinner now. Right, we're not far from the car now. Just on these couple of crags here. Make great spots. And yeah, plenty of options. So get out, have an explore, see what you find, have a look at the maps, watch a couple of YouTube videos, and I'm sure you'll find somewhere decent to camp. So get back to the car now, and then we'll round off the video. And last but not least, to round the trip off, here's a fantastic little place to camp. I can't show you too much though, because it'll give it away where I am. But yeah, hit the jackpot. This is fantastic. So the whole hike's been worth it. Found about 4 or 5 places, and definitely this one excellent. Right, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and drop us a comment. What do you think of the walk? What do you look for in a wild campsite? What do you like? Do you like the hills? Do you like the woods? Like the beaches? Just everything. Just let us know what makes a good camping spot for you, and we'll see you again soon.